There's no lack of theories about Stranger Things on the internet. Some of them are great and even make up for some interesting alternate storylines for the show's characters. But some others just seem like they're just fishing for attention. And in today's video, we're going to discuss one such theory that's taken up the internet by storm. So much that the Duffer Brothers had to step in and shut it down. So, what is this theory about? The show's very first season. More specifically, one of its earlier episodes where Jonathan stalks Nancy and photographs her while she's standing in Steve's room. Remember the scene? It was probably Jonathan's lowest point in the show, and the only time he seemed super creepy and weird. According to a fan on TikTok though, the scene was creepier than the one being shown on Netflix, claiming that it included a shot of Jonathan actually taking her photo instead of putting the camera down, and taking Barb's picture instead after he sees her and Steve together. They went on to say that the Duffer Brothers have been changing and re-editing old scenes of the show on the fly, including this one. Are they doing it to make their relationship more appealing? They asked. This caused quite an uproar on the internet, where people started quoting more scenes they thought were edited. And as things happen on the internet, the news got viral and became a trend on Twitter, Reddit, and the likes. So wait, did it really happen? Well, he did take a picture of her, and that much is proven in a scene later in episode 3 where Steve and his friends start bullying him, which doesn't clear Jonathan's name in the whole situation, we agree. But some fans have come to his rescue, stating that it was a truly dark time in his life, and between his brother's disappearance, his mother's claims that she could speak to the lights, and seeing the love of his life making out with another guy, he may have made a judgment error that he was clearly pretty sorry about. Steve said it too, remember? Plus, it was the 80s, guys. Not that we're supporting what he did, you should not do that. But in the show's context, a troubled 15-year-old taking a picture of a girl he liked at a time he was super confused is a character flaw he eventually came to unlearn. And that's what matters, doesn't it? But even then, some fans were still pretty sure there was a scene of him actually taking the picture, which was cut out of the show, at least until the Duffers stepped in from their Stranger Writers account on Twitter to shut down the theory once and for all, with an aggressive Dustin gif supporting them. They tweeted a PSA that no scenes from previous seasons have ever been cut or re-edited, and they never will be. Sounds like the Duffers alright, and it makes sense, because why would they change such an important scene that makes up for a huge plot point later in the season? Fans have also spoken up about the baseless theory regarding the show's editing. In fact, they've been calling it the Mandela effect, which is a phenomenon when a group of people collectively misremember a past fact or event. According to them, this is a pretty straightforward example of that, because hey, Jonathan was a little creepy there, and everyone who watched the scene felt it, so it makes sense that people would think he was shown taking the picture, when in fact, he wasn't. So guys, you can breathe. Your favorite show has remained unchanged, thanks to the very creative Duffers, who've always made sure that the show's plotlines stay connected throughout multiple episodes and seasons. Except for when they forgot Will's birthday. But hey, everyone forgets someone's birthday once in a while. They didn't have Facebook to remind them back then, did they? You'll be interested to know though that they do have a fix for that. Hold up, how can they fix Will's birthday error? That would require them to change part of the show, right? Yes and no. We know for sure that the Duffers felt super bad about forgetting such an important date. They mentioned this in an interview with IndieWire. They also mentioned that they thought of changing Joyce's dialogue from March 22nd to her saying May 22nd because the voiceover could fit in the scene and eliminate the mistake entirely. In fact, they also said that this isn't the first time they'll be George Lucasing something in the show. This refers to the Star Wars director's practice of changing flawed scenes in older Star Wars movies, even after they'd been released. So, does this mean they have changed scenes in the past? As we said, yes and no. They have gone back and made changes, but only in the visual effects, as per Ross Duffer. This includes some edits in season 4 as well, after it was released on Memorial Day weekend. So now we know where the Jonathan theory got its fire from. But hey, don't blame the guys too much. Haven't we all edited old assignments after knowing the teacher hadn't checked them yet? The show's their baby, guys. They can make some changes in its visuals, as long as the main plot of the story remains the same, right? So now that we're done with Jonathan's mystery, it's time to move on to some other interesting theories about the show's 5th season, starting with our take on the next season's plotline. Now look, we all agree that Max being brain dead means Vecna has consumed her, right? Even Dr. Brenner hints at this when he tells Eleven that Henry doesn't kill his victims, he consumes them. So it's safe to assume that the key to killing Vecna could very well be Max. We're not too big on details right now, but we're sure that she may ultimately lead to his undoing by rallying up all the souls he's consumed since he killed his parents in the 50s. There's also this theory about Will, who will obviously be the main plot point in season 5, thanks thanks to his connection to the Upside Down. And now that he's back in Hawkins, the connection has strengthened again, and this may just lead to Vecna using Will to come back to life, maybe even as a human. Why Will, you ask? Because he's more similar to Henry than all the other characters in the show. We all know now that the Mind Flayer was being controlled by Vecna when he possessed Will. Thanks to that, he probably knows Will better than even his own mother, and that's saying something. But because of that, and because Will's as sensitive as Henry was back in the day, it's just possible that Vecna would want Will's body to be the host that could bring him back to life. Don't forget, he could have easily killed Will like he did Billy, but he didn't. This means there's at least a partial connection between them that could lead to the younger Byers brother becoming his pawn in the next season. And then there's this new monster theory going around. The Duffers have already mentioned there won't be any new characters to explore in season 5, and that it'll start right off the bat without any opening plots. They've also mentioned that season 5 will bring all the characters full circle. This means 11 will be back with the boys, and the Hawkins gang will be finally together after all this time. As excited as we are to hear that, we can't help but think back to when Nancy is describing what Vecna told her. According to her, he showed her some horrible things, including a black cloud over Hawkins, dead soldiers, and a giant monster with a gaping mouth. We haven't seen any similar monsters on the show till now, have we? Fans have been quick to point out that this could mean we'll be introduced to a new, final monster in the next season. They've also been equating this monster to Tarisk, a creature that exists in the world of Dungeons and Dragons and who could be the big bad in the next season. If this is true, it's possible that while the team in Hawkins fights the monster, Max will figure out a way to fight Vecna from within. And if we're on the mark with our Will theory too, it's also possible that in the end, the choice will come down to saving Will or Max, which is going to be heartbreaking to watch. Don't forget guys, Netflix executives cried after hearing the ending plans for season 5. That's not a normal reaction at all. So obviously, we're super stoked and scared of what's going to happen next. And because the Duffers are not D&D, we're sure it's going to be amazing and not the cesspool of a badly written finale like Game of Thrones. So guys, considering all that we've told you, Jonathan taking a few pictures of Nancy in season 1 should be the least of your worries. You should probably be praying about your favorite character making it out alive instead. That's a wrap for this video. What's your take about all the theories going around for Stranger Things season 5? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.